Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Jason with Jadren Aquatics. Thanks for joining me for part 2 of the full fish room tour. This time we're going to finish up with some of the 40 gallons and some of the shrimp tanks and the rest of my 20 gallons. And then in part 3, when that one comes out, that will be all the rest of the 10 gallon tanks that I have. That I actually have plans on getting rid of almost every one of them and replacing them with 40 gallons. So on that note, let's go ahead and go down. Well, not go down. As you can see, we're already in the fish room. We don't need to go down to the fish room, Jason, because we are in the fish room. All right, so let's go around and let's check out the rest of the tanks. This is another 40 gallon breeder. This has a lot of stuff going on in this one. We've got neon tetras, probably about 6 or so. There's some harlequin tetras, or pork chop tetras as they call them. There is a bunch of Pygmy Corys. There's a couple of breeding pair in here. Some of the smaller ones, well, some of these ones like here, these are all eggs that I have raised up into semi-adults. There's probably about 12 of those guys in here. You can only see a couple right now. There's also albino bristlenose, and there's quite a few baby albino bristlenose right there that are probably 2 or 3 months old. And something else that I've just started doing within the last few months is I've started throwing random shrimp in my tank. And as you can see, there is a bunch in here. I think like 3 months ago, I put maybe 10 shrimp in here. Now I just mixed them. I put some cherries, I put some pumpkins. I don't think I put any blues. I think I may have put some kind of greens or something in here, and I've just let these things breed, and these things are breeding way, way, way better in this tank than they are in the 10 gallon tanks they have. They don't seem to breed quite as fast. In this tank also there are 2 clown Plecos that you almost never see. They're probably back there in those caves. And then I've got another semi-rare Plecos in here, and I can't remember. It might be the red sternella that's in here, but I never ever see him. So I can't remember which one exactly he is. And next tank, this is another 40 gallon breeder. 40 gallon breeders are becoming my favorite aquariums. I'm probably going to start taking down some of my 10s to make room for more of these 40s. In here you've got multiple breeding pairs of bristlenose. These are oh my gosh, my mind has just slipped me what these are. Well, whatever. There's also Corys in here. I think these are Weitzman Corys. There's about 6 or 8 of these guys in here, and then there's one random Julii Cory that's in here also. I keep forgetting to buy more Julii so I can put them all together, so he's just kind of roaming around with them in here. And then also you can see kind of swimming crazy around are my Amazon puffers. There are 5 Amazon puffers that are in here. And these guys, I feed live snails on a daily basis. These guys are starting to get a little more nippy than I like. I see them going after the Corys and the Plecos sometimes, and so I'm not a big fan of aggression in tanks. That's why I don't have any African cichlids. So I'm trying to feed these guys a little more heavily, thinking that maybe that's possibly what it is. As you can see, this guy, you know, he's got this crazy looking extended belly because I just fed him a bunch of snails. All right, here's the first 10 gallon shrimp tank. These are cherry shrimp. These are some cherry shrimp that were originally given to me. You can see these guys are kind of a lighter color cherry shrimp, and a bunch of them have this white stripe on their back. that I haven't seen too often, but there seems to be quite a few coming out of those. You'll see there's some oranges starting to come out of those guys also. In this tank, every other one of these shrimp tanks you'll see are ones that I got from Flip Aquatics. These are true cherry shrimp. You see these guys are much redder, and these guys are breeding extremely true. I don't think I've seen anything come out of this tank other than just cherry shrimp. In this tank, these are fantasy blues. Again, this is another one that just breeds just true as can be. You can see these guys are just a blue, beautiful blue. Each one of these tanks has probably hundreds of them in here, so that's why I began to pull some of these out and put them into some of the other tanks. These are the Bloody Marys. These guys, when I first got them, they were a really strong red, but I guess because of not culling, I'm starting to get more of a kind of a lighter color red. They're starting to look more like cherries, which I know that's all Bloody Marys are. They're just really dark colored cherry shrimp. Okay, this one, these are Tangerine Tigers. As you can see, these guys are orange, but they kind of have a little tiger stripe pattern on them. And here, these are orange pumpkins. Again, all of the shrimp that I currently have are all neocardinia. My wife loves shrimp, so I think I'm going to start getting into some of the crystal shrimp and some of the just cardinia shrimp. They're a lot more difficult to keep because of the water parameters. These guys, I can literally just pull these out of here and throw them into any of my tanks, and they survive absolutely perfectly. Next one, these are the green jades. These are one of the lines that do not breed very true. As you can see, there's like maroons and browns and greens and oranges and reds. And so these are one of the ones I kind of pull from and throw to some of the other tanks. But I think as I'm starting to put these into other tanks, I'm probably going to try to start keeping them in their own colors, like only put fantasy blues in one tank instead of just mixing them all up. Next tank, these are carbon rillies, guys that are kind of like a white stripe in the middle with kind of dark blue for front and back. I don't think I've actually taken any of these out and put in any of the tanks. This is kind of a Mod Podge. These are some shrimp that somebody gave me, and I kind of just threw them in here. And they were originally brown with like tiger stripes, but they're, again, you can see they're breeding out all different sorts of colors also. Okay, next tank. This is a 20-gallon long. In this tank, we've got about 5 or 6 bleeding heart tetras. These things grew bigger than I realized, so I need to get these guys moved out. 3, 6, no, there's like 8. There's like 9 of those things in there. Whatever there's too many in there, and they're too big for this tank now. Also, there are probably 5 or 6 long fin calico plecostomus bristlenose. You can see one over here eating. There are also these Corys. I think these are the Whitesmani. I think there's a dozen of the Whitesmani Corys, and then there's one lone panda Cory that's in here also. And then another thing that's in here that is absolutely beautiful, but I literally never see it unless I start digging around in there. It is a L239 plecostomus. It's like a blue panoc. It's just, man, its blue coloring is absolutely beautiful, but I can never get it on video because it literally stays hidden all of the time. Okay, next tank, another 20-gallon long. This is a stack of 20-gallon longs. And so in here, we have some dwarf honey gouramis. And this guy right here, I guess he's like in breeding colors or something. I've never seen this color pattern on any of them until about 2 or 3 days ago. And I've noticed him start to look like he's trying to make like a bubble nest. So I guess that's what it is breeding colors. But man, he's cool looking right now. This fish right here, I have no idea what this is. Phil from Tame Waters gave it to me, and it had a name on it, and I forgot what it is. I think it's a live bear because I lost the female, but I don't know. If you know what it is, be sure and tell me what the heck it is. Also, there are 2 Pygmy Corys in here. Hasbrosis and Pygmaeus are the 2 Corys that are in here. And also there's a bunch of the violet Corys. I think there's like a dozen of those guys that are in here that have the half of the tail that's all violet colored. These guys are really, really cool looking. And also you can see some of the random shrimp. I think I just started putting shrimp in this tank about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So there's maybe 10 or so in there. Okay, next tank. This one we got a lot going on. We've got about half a dozen Albino Quarries. We have got we've got 2 longfin, I call them chocolates. They're kind of browns, but man, these guys have some super fins. The problem is, both the 2 that I have, they're both males. So I need another female. But I hardly ever see them with these huge, long fins. I mean, these fins are just crazy ridiculous. Also, there is a male and female pair of the purple Mosaic Dumbo ears. That's the male, and then that one up there is the female. As you can see, the female is just as gorgeous or even more gorgeous than the male is. Now this is another tank that I put about 10 shrimp in, and if you'll look around, there's like there's like maybe 200 shrimp in this thing. They have been breeding like crazy in here. So I'm looking forward to starting to take down all my tins. I know I've heard other people say before, but stuff just breeds better in anything bigger than a tin. They just seems to do better. The more water you give them, the less chance it has of the water, you know, going bad on you, or the pH dropping, or losing alkalinity, or whatever. But okay, next tank. Got to get a stool to get to this one. I'll show you the whole rack here. So this is a 4. This one has 4 20 highs on it. 20 longs. Okay, so let's go up here to the top. We're gonna go slow because these guys spook easy because this tank is so high. Okay, in this tank there are about 4 or 5 red sailfin Venezuela Corys. And then there are a super red bristlenose. There you'll see a male right there. This is actually more of a calico. I need to move him out. When I first got him, he was just a super red, but he's starting to get a lot of calico colors. And then there's one female somewhere. I need another super red female to go with him. Or with, there was the female. Then she went to hide. As you can see again, I've got shrimp in here, just like all the other tanks. All right, there you go. There is part 2 of the fish room tour. Be sure and stay tuned for part 3 we'll put out in the next couple of days. With everything going on with Aquashella, it's like I got 20 million things to do and things to print and things to build and things to buy. So the fact that I'm getting videos out in the midst of this it's insanity is what it is. But I gotta keep the videos rolling. Gotta keep the videos rolling. So be sure and leave a comment down below if you got any questions, concerns, or just wanna say something. You just say something away. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can see when I put new stuff out. So thanks again, guys, and God bless.